This is part 3 of the construction law series on construction contract provisions. The previous two versions of this video discussed how you enter into a contract. What I'm going to discuss now is negotiating tips. And one of the things I hear often from clients is that it is difficult to negotiate contracts upstream because they need the work. They don't want to risk losing the work by going back and saying, I want to delete these provisions. The first thing I always tell a client is, look, you need to make sure that you understand where you sit with your customer. Okay? If you want this job and you believe that negotiating this contract will cause them to go down the street to somebody else, then you have to determine whether or not it's worth the risk to keep certain provisions in your contract. Now, if you hand a construction contract to any attorney, they're going to mark it up. Okay? There's tons of things that can be changed in any construction contract. But the key thing that you should focus on are the terms that are going to impact your payment, terms that are going to impact your job performance, your scope of work, and possible claims that you may have on the project. So those are the types of things that you want to focus on. Keep in mind, there is absolutely no provision that any attorney can provide you in a contract that will make you lawsuit proof. Okay? You can always be sued at any time for anything. But the point of having a good contract is it gives you something to fall back on after customer service falls through. Okay, so contractors are in business, architects are in business, engineers are in business because they do good work. If they didn't, they wouldn't be in business. If customer service falls through, then you go back and you look at your contract and you say, hey, did you see this provision that says I'm entitled to additional money if I have delays? Or I'm entitled to additional money if there are claims for differing site conditions allowed. Those types of things. So keep that in mind. Also, this is obvious, but make sure you read your contract. Okay, it sounds like something that everyone knows, but even if you get a form contract, let's say you get an AIA, American Institute of Architects form contract on a project. One of the things that you really want to do is take a look at it, because there may be things that were changed from that form. You always want to make sure that you have all the documents that are part of your contract. One of the things you need to be aware of is incorporation by reference. Okay, if you see that term somewhere in your contract, if it says this document incorporates by reference the project manual, the specifications, the plans, the prime contract, other documents, get all of those documents. Review them because they are part of your contract and they can modify your terms. Classic example is AIA documents. If you are working with a fixed price contract or a cost plus contract, a 101 or 111 AIA document, those documents are going to incorporate by reference a 201, which is the general terms and conditions. You're talking a 30 or 40 page document that has all kinds of provisions that will modify the type of work that you're doing, the claims that you can ask the owner for, all those types of things. So make sure that you have a copy of that or you get a copy of that before you enter into the contract. I mentioned plans and specifications. A lot of times if you open up a set of plans in the top right or left-hand corner, you'll see architect notes or designer notes, and it will have additional disclaimers in there, waivers, things that will affect your abilities to get payment for claims. So make sure that at least you're aware of that you're going and understanding what you're giving up if you enter into a contract. The last part of this series, part 4, will discuss problems with the scope of work and how it's important to adequately address the scope of work in your contract.